Hey guys, this is Michael with Straight Up Fitness. I want to show you the presentation that I did on last Saturday, just in case you want to rewatch it or you weren't there on Saturday. So I'm going to go through this real quick. What I'm trying to accomplish here is that instead of us, the trainers, giving you a meal plan and just telling you, hey, eat this, if you decide if you choose to, you can actually start understanding why we tell you to eat the things we're telling you to eat. So I'm going to jump straight into it, getting you started. Actually, this is the presentation from last Saturday. We went over your balls, which means the lacrosse ball that you're supposed to have right now. I'll skip that because that makes no sense right now. We're going to talk about insulin and carbs, and we're going to talk about action steps. So there are 3 macros. I'm going to go through this presentation and I'm going to cover all the basics so that you have an understanding on basic nutrition. If you have any questions that pop up, then put them in the comment box below and I'll answer them. And I want to let you know there are no dumb questions. Absolutely no. No dumb questions. The only dumb questions are the ones that never get asked. So, all right, there are 3 macros. Those are protein, carbs, and fat. Now, what do those protein, carbs, and fat do? Protein repairs your muscle. Carbs give you energy, and fat regulates your hormones. Protein, I think everybody knows. Carbs, I think most people know. They also provide fiber. Fat regulates your hormones. If you don't get enough fat, then you're not going to have enough hormone to build muscle. Also, you're going to have mood swings and be cranky all the time. So, what's the number 1 enemy of fat loss? Now, I did this in a crowd where I asked them this, so I'm just going to go straight to the answer. There's actually 2 enemies. One of them is processed food, and the other one is sugar. Sugar is the number 1 enemy of fat loss. Now, sugar is a carb, which means sugar is energy. And why is sugar then the enemy of fat loss? Because it doesn't have to be, but when you eat sugar, what are you telling your body? You're telling your body it's go time, it's party time. When you eat sugar, you are telling your body, hey, body, here's some energy. Go ahead and use this energy because I'm about to go work out. I'm about to go get some of them gains right here. So when you eat sugar, you are telling your body, get ready. A workout is about to happen. I'm about to crush the concrete and the bar is going to be bending because otherwise I'm just pretending. So if you eat sugar, you better go work it off because if your body is ready to party, then it's all systems go. When you eat sugar, your body's going to launch this thing called insulin. Insulin is a hormone produced by your pancreas that regulates your blood sugar. So I don't want to get too technical, but it's a hormone that's produced by your pancreas, which is an organ that regulates your blood sugar. What insulin does is that it takes the sugar out of your blood and puts it into your muscle, liver, and fat cells. Now, right now, the video that I'm making right now is 2017. Right now in 2017, it's the 80s all over again. The reason I'm saying that is because back in the 80s, people stopped working out. People started getting more sedentary. And as a result, people started getting a little fatter. So as a result, people were like, hey, why are we getting fatter? We think fat's the enemy. And that was a trend back in the 80s. Fat is the enemy. Fat-free diets. Let's do that. So fat-free diets came all about. That's what Atkins also came out about. So fat-free diet, I'm sorry, not Atkins, but fat-free diets. Atkins actually came out later. But fat-free diets, when you take out all fat, then you have to replace the fat with either protein or carbs. So usually you replace the fat with carbs because carbs are way easier to eat. So fat-free diets increased our sugar intake. Now, we've come a long way. We understand now that sugar is the enemy, but still, sugar is more addicting than hardcore drugs like heroin. So if you eat a lot of sugar, you're going to get addicted to the sugar. And in other words, here's the deal. 4 out of 5 foods, if you go to Albertsons, Ralph's, Vaughn's, have added sugar to them in the processed food section, in the boxed food. So if you want to stay sugar-free, then basically just eat single ingredient foods And you can still get your sugar in through fruit, but it's going to have so many nutrients, vitamins, minerals, and fiber that it's still going to be infinitely better than any sugar you get from anything that's packaged. I'm going to go back to what sugar does to your body. In other words, pancreas produces insulin, right? When you eat sugar. Pancreas produces basically a FedEx truck. Insulin is a FedEx truck that goes ahead and picks up the sugar out of your blood and puts it into your muscle, liver, and your fat cells. So it's a double-edged sword. If you want to put the protein into the muscle, you want to put the sugar into the muscle, you want to fuel yourself, then you're going to fuel your muscle and your liver, but also your fat cells. So that's why we're going to get to it later. There's a certain time when you can eat your carbs where you can actually get away with it. Now, insulin is a FedEx truck that puts the sugar into the muscles. Sugar gives you fuel to work out. In other words, if you eat too much sugar, it all gets stored in your fat cells. Or if you just eat sugar and you don't work out. So, if you keep doing that all the time, if you keep telling your body, hey, body, here's some sugar, go ahead and get ready, fire up the rockets, all Thunderbirds go. And your body's like, let's go, ready to work out. And then you tell your body, never mind, I'm not going to work out after all. That's the same thing as telling your girlfriend, hey, I'm going to take you out to eat tonight. It's going to be great, romantic, candlelight, violin, mariachi band is going to be playing. And you're going to have a great time. And then we're going to go Lionel Richie all night long, all the way until 4 a.m. And it's going to be multiple, we're going to climb Mount Everest multiple times tonight. So she gets all excited. And then you call her 5 minutes before you're supposed to be at her doorstep. And you say, hey, you know what? I'm not coming. I'm canceling tonight because I want to play video games instead. Well, what do you think is going to happen to your girlfriend? Your girlfriend is going to become desensitized to you. And she's going to start acting in all types of ways. And that's exactly what's going to happen if you keep eating sugar and not working out and eating too much sugar. So if you keep eating too much sugar, then your insulin sensitivity goes down because your body keeps producing insulin, but your body stops being sensitive to the insulin. So what is insulin sensitivity? It's just how sensitive the body is to the effects of insulin. Now, if you abuse your insulin, if you eat too much sugar, then insulin sensitivity goes down. So high insulin sensitivity means your pancreas only needs to produce one little FedEx truck and your body will be like, bam, taking that sugar out of the blood. Boom, straight into the muscle and the liver and fat, or muscle and the liver. If your insulin sensitivity is low, then you need to produce all kinds of FedEx trucks, a whole bunch of insulin. As a result, your pancreas is going to be working overtime. Pancreas is going to be producing insulin all the time. Pancreas is going to get tired and your pancreas is going to shut down. And that's how eating too much sugar leads to low insulin sensitivity, and low insulin sensitivity leads to diabetes. When your pancreas is broken down, that's basically what diabetes is. And I don't want to get too technical, but there's two types of diabetes, but let's just leave it with this right here. Now, I'm going to jump straight into it, the low carb issue. We've all been on a low carb diet. Everybody's been on a low carb diet before. When going low carb, never go all or nothing. I'm going to dispel all the myths when it comes to carbs. When it comes to carbs, here's the deal. There's a couple things that happen when you go low carb and you do it wrong. First off, you got to know, like I just said, your body stores carbs mostly in your liver and muscles in the form of glycogen. So when you eat a carb, it gets stored in your liver and muscles. Now, step 2, when you start exercising, and you have a full tank, meaning your muscle and liver are loaded with glycogen, then if you were to eat 0 carb, you would last 2 to 7 days without eating any carbs. So that means you're using up all your glycogen, you're using up all your resources that you have in your muscle and liver, depending on how loaded you are and all that, you last anywhere from 2 to 7 days. And then, when you're doing this, you're using glycogen as fuel. Glycogen carries a lot of water. So you'll experience rapid weight loss. So if you're all about your weight, then cut out your carbs and you'll lose a lot of weight. And then you can be all kinds of happy. And then you'll eat carbs again and you'll gain them all back. And then you'll be all kinds of sad. That's why you shouldn't look at the scale, but girls never listen. They always look at the scale anyway. So I'm not going to go into that battle. But weight loss, you can lose 10 pounds in a week if you just cut your carbs. Boom. If you just want to, for whatever reason, if you think that's important. So However, when you go low carb, when you do that, you're only really losing future energy and water, because when you run out of all glycogen in your muscle and liver, then you get into step 3. No energy, dehydrated, your body starts using fat as fuel. Now, when you're here, it's kind of like you're doing that whole keto trend that's going all over the place. Keto, aka a bunch of skinny, emasculated guys saying that they're super healthy, but they turn sideways and they disappear because they're super skinny. So they almost look like runway models. You lose a lot of muscle on that. Let me explain. Fat can provide some massive energy, but it's that slow energy. Now, I'm going to jump straight into it. When you burn fat for energy, it's slow energy. What does this mean for your workouts? First off, they will suck. You're not going to lift as much weight. You're going to work out like a wet towel, and that's not a good thing. So when glycogen is empty, your muscle fatigue goes up, your muscle catabolism goes up, and your metabolism goes down. And your metabolism goes down because you lose muscle. So long story short, you're getting to the point like this where you already know what I'm going to say. Low carb is not great if you do it for too long. So here's the deal. Low carb diets don't provide enough fiber and vitamins. The liver is also stressed highly. You never want to stress your liver, because that means you're going to have a miserable life. You are going to be throwing up or having all kinds of digestive issues. So how do you low carb the right way? Here's what I tell you. Time your carbs wisely. The best time to eat your carbs is in this 3-hour window. 1 hour before your workout, during your workout, and after your workout. 1 hour after your workout. Now, you're probably not going to eat carbs during your workout, so really it's 1 hour before your workout and 1 hour after your workout. That's a rough estimate. Step 2 is to ask yourself, what body fat percentage are you at? If you are a man that is anywhere below 16%-ish, 15, 16%, then you really should not go low carb, because unless you want to get to single digit, but there's really no point. Now we get to that later. If you're a girl that's below 20%, there's no point in going low carb. You're just doing unnecessary drudgery. So step 3 is add high carb days. If you decide to go low carb, make sure you add a high carb day one day before your big workout or the day of your big workout. What that does is it replenishes your glycogen in your muscle and liver. Also, chromium picolinate is a supplement that regulates your blood sugar. That's just like a 1% type thing. It prevents your body from producing insulin because it regulates your blood sugar more. And step 5 is to get your fiber in through vegetables. Make sure you get enough fiber in, because one of the dangers of low carb diets is you don't get enough fiber in. So here's what I want you guys to do. Consult your trainer regarding your meal plan, your supplements, and your cardio. I went through all this real quick because when I was presenting this at the presentation, the bison burger was right behind me, or the bison truck was right behind me, and I saw everybody licking their lips, waiting for their bison burger. And then as soon as I was done with the presentation, it was like spring break. Everybody was like bison burger time. And I felt very neglected, and I went home that day and I cried in a pillow for about 2 hours. But I'm okay now. I just want everybody to know I'm okay. I'm never going to be a teacher, because I don't think I would be very good at it, because nowadays with phones too, people just look at their phone. Like there were some girls I wanted to grab their phone and throw them in the toilet. But this is really important stuff. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. And I know Lainey knows everything, knows all this stuff already. What I'm telling you is that if you know this stuff, my intention for this is for you to understand this, because once you understand it, I'm going to assume that you'll be way more stable in your weight and in your body fat percentage. Because once you understand it, you know what to do next time you may fall off the wagon or something like that, So I hope that makes sense. Ask your trainer what meal plan you should be on. Ask your trainer about supplements and how much cardio you should do, because everybody has a different weight and body fat percentage. So we don't want to just give you a cookie cutter, hey, here, eat tilapia and asparagus all day long. So that's it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. Yeah, we'll see you guys. I really hope this was recording. Oh yeah, it was. All right, so I will see you guys soon, guys. Have a great day.